Come on,
I think we've been gone too long.
Oh yeah, we both ragged. I'm still typing in. Yeah, we ragged. Forgive us, please.
Yes, please forgive us. Welcome back to another episode where we're gonna talk about some money. I know we've been gone for a minute. Personally, I blame Tony, but there's no blame in the situation. So we're not gonna point any fingers.
Right.
We ain't pointing no fingers. Anyway, welcome back. My name is Melissa King. I am a home-based business owner and have been for going on 9 years. Tony and I like to refer to him as Professor Clopton because he is my financial mentor and has been for the last almost 9 years. So he is here to co-host with me tonight. What else I need to tell the people before I get started? I'm still trying to collect myself.
Okay.
Anyway, Tony, introduce yourself.
Okay, like let's say I am Tony Clopton. I'm from Cortland, Alabama, but I live here in Birmingham for the last 25 plus years. I am a auto worker, and if y'all haven't been noticing that the auto industry is it's taking some turns with some of the workers wanting better benefits and better pay. Better hours, like so many other people out there. I already know I'm not the only one that's struggling, and we want to talk a little bit about the struggle and how we're using a system that's going to help you. And normally I get into my spiel about how this system has helped me, but this is Melissa's show, and however she want to roll with it, I'm going to roll with her.
Okay, so yeah, like Tony said, the title of tonight's show is which one is hitting you harder? Are you getting an uppercut from inflation, or are you getting a hard left from taxes? You know, either way, you feeling real boogered up and bruised when you come up out that fight.
What you talking about?
For any of you that listen to us for a while, you know, usually when we talk about myEcon, which is our financial business, we talk about how there are 4 challenges that keep you from being, well, I don't say they keep you, but they work hard to do just that, challenge you from having financial success. So those 4 things, we're going to talk about 2 of those 4 tonight. And the 2 we're talking about tonight, inflation, taxes. So Tony, in your professorism, describe what inflation is.
Okay. Inflation. I'm gonna give you I'm gonna tell you what my definition is, and then I'm gonna give you an example. Or we can give y'all some examples. Inflation is the rise in cost of goods and services when your paycheck flatlines. Like, it's your paycheck. Okay. Example. For me is gas prices. It takes $134 to fill up my F-250 diesel truck. Now, my check didn't go up with the gas prices, right? But the prices that the pump did. That's what inflation does. It's like you're not making no more money, and everything else is going like this. So how do you deal with that?
How you fill in that gap?
Right.
Because with inflation, we don't have access to lower it. So once it go up,
it's up.
I mean, ain't really nothing you can do. So how we gonna make them meet?
Right. Let's give us some more examples. What is some of your examples about inflation? How is it hitting your pockets?
I can give you examples all day long. Number 1, food cost. Number. Food cost. I don't care whether it's food cost for eating out or food cost for going to the grocery store. Either way, they standing up there with them gloves like, and I'm like trying to bob and weave, but while I'm bobbing and weaving, they going in my wallet.
Right.
I mean, it's one thing to it's crazy. Let's say 6 months ago, I went in the store to buy a pack of ground beef, and that package of ground beef cost me $5.76. I go back in there 6 months later, and that same size package of ground beef might be $7.42. And you looking at the meat like, okay, where the $2 change worth of difference come in at? Is it gonna taste $2 and some change worth better? Is it gonna fry better? It's gonna have less grease. What is it gonna do? And their answer is, it's out of our hands. We have to pay for it too. You know, so like when I'm in line at the grocery store, I guess they sick of folks coming there talking about the price and stuff. Because I'm standing there while they ringing stuff up, like, now how many of them did you ring up? I just had one.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, how many people once they buy something, they go back and look at the receipt and say, man, this can't be right. I know they done added some more people's food to my receipt because I know good and well I ain't bought this much stuff.
It's ridiculous. It's almost like you want to check and make sure they ain't ringing up something for them while they ringing up your stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. So
and
hey,
you know what? I'm gonna tell you, they ain't got slick. I went to the gas station today. When I go to the gas station, they'll ring me up, right? But at the same time, you know, they ain't giving me no total. They just let me tap the card. I'm like, well, can I see the receipt? You know, if you don't ask for a receipt, some of them won't give you a receipt. You walk out the store and the transaction is done because you tapped it, but you're like, wait a minute, how much did it cost? They slick. Hey, Tanya Buffer. Tanya said every time. It ain't no joke. It's ridiculous. And then you like want to try to run out and grab something real quick. It's getting to the point now. I was fussing before because I had to spend like $14, $15 to get something for me and Naya. Now, when I get a total, it's like $21. I'm like, wait.
You know what? It's not just the gas. It's not just the food. We're talking about homeowners insurance. We're talking about car insurance. We're talking about deductibles for your insurance. It's like, okay, wait a minute now. Let's put this thing on pause. How is everything going up that I have to pay for? And my paycheck is like, man, hey, look, I don't know how far more I could stretch because you done stretched me out to the huff and you struggling. So, man, I'm telling y'all, our business is like, it's God sent for a reason that so many people are struggling and don't know how to fix it. And that's why I'm so passionate and happy to be able to share this. To share this information.
You bet.
You're sharing the answer.
Yeah, because that was my thing. I'm like, we all just sit around and vented about it, but it's one thing to vent about it. It's another thing to have some solutions. So, you know, like we were saying, we can't go up to Congress and tell them, okay, we demand that inflation be lowered back to where it's supposed to be. That ain't gonna happen. So we have to come up with other more, and I don't want to use the word creative, but when you think about it, and when you start a business, you are creating another stream of income. So in a way, it is being created. So the other thing that's packing the wallet, we talked about inflation and what it means. The next thing is taxes. Because of course, when you think about it, if the price is going up because of inflation and taxes is based on a percentage, don't that automatically mean that you're getting taxed more? It's like hand in hand. And, you know, and I feel like that ain't fair. I'm looking at stuff like, wait a minute. This ain't right. It just ain't right. You know? So that's another thing. That's why I put both of them on there, because it's like you can't, it's a 1-2 punch combination. You can't get hit with one without being hit with the other one. So okay, so done with the vent part, right?
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the solution part.
Let's talk solutions.
So with that in mind, how about sharing your first announcement with us, fellow Clocker?
Okay.
This about to be a story.
Yeah, let's share. I gotta share this. Tomorrow will mark 9 years being an active myEcon business owner.
9 years is a long time.
Yeah, 9 years
So
is a long time.
tell the people, I'm sure some people that may be listening for the first time tonight.
Okay.
Tell the people what being in this business 9 years
Yeah.
has done for you personally. Not what it did for me, not what it done for Mr. Stokes, not what it's done for Joe Blow.
Okay.
Tell me what being in this business for 9 years has done for Professor Tony Clark.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna say this in like less than three to 5 minutes. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Since joining myEcon, you're looking at somebody that's been in the auto industry. So we have a lot of ups and downs with the market, right? I actually being in myEcon, I learned how to fix my credit. I learned how to get a huge pay raise on my job because my job has a lot of overtime hours that we work. I increased my cash flow from day one from joining this company, $465, right? I put that much more money back in my pocket without working overtime. I was in a position to buy 2 rental properties with a low interest rate and 2 cars, much needed cars that I needed just joining myEcon and using the credit repair system. Since then, I actually were able to join a church locally in my area. And that's how I met the pastor of my church, Pastor Paul Fleming. Shout out to Pastor Paul at the Greater Faith. Actually connected with him because he's a car salesman. And look how God lined this thing up. I started seeing a lot of improvements in my life, not only financially, but spiritually, and being able to use this information for myself. A lot of people out there that will join a business and say, hey, look, I don't want to tell nobody about what I'm doing until I see if it works for me. Look, 9 years later, I still hear them same people say it. I'm going to wait to see what it do for you, and I'm going to make sure you don't go to jail. And my rebuttal is, there are millions of people that are utilizing the tax system and getting wealthy. Why are you waiting to see what it do for me and you in your situation? 9 years later, Tony's still going strong. My thing is this: anybody straddling the fence about this business, it's like a haircut, y'all. You got to get the information for yourself, the membership for yourself, and start using it and sharing it. That's what a true blessing came for me, and this is why I'm still active and still going strong in myEcon today. That's half of it. Oh, let me talk about the investment side. My daughter's 16 now. I've cash flowed over $35,000+ in her investment account. Not only am I making money for myself, but I'm actually investing more of my own money that I was losing through the tax system to invest for her. So by the time she's a senior or headed to college, she has hopefully close to $50,000 to $100,000. That's my goal for her. And then I'm going to teach her how to manage that money from there. But man, this company has shared and taught me so much about finances that no school or no college will probably ever teach you. So that's my spiel.
And for any of them little knucklehead boys that heard him say about that 50 to 100,000, don't even worry about it.
Don't worry about
ain't for you. Because I can see some of them like, oh, is she cute too? Ain't she got money? I'm gonna recommend y'all don't try it.
Don't try it.
Don't even try it. But you know what? That is such a great testimony, and that's the one thing about it. Everybody who has came in this business and especially stayed in it has their own testimony. I heard you talk about buying property. I heard you talk about investments, credit, everything. And then, people are always like, well, what exactly is the business? It's hard to break down in the time that we have to come on here every possible thing that you can gain from having this business. But the big picture is you are going to create multiple streams of income. You are going to learn why that is important, how to put put that knowledge to use to make it come out better for you. Now, Tony's been in this thing 9 years. I got involved because I was around here being nosy, trying to see what he was doing. You know how Facebook is. You know how you had them people you look at and you don't want to know you looking. And you started saying, what they talking about? You know, you keep on posting this stuff about this money. What this money about? But you don't want them to think that they got your attention. Well, nosiness got the best of me, and I just went on in the inbox like, look, what you doing?
Right.
I can't take it no more. I need to know what you're doing and if it can help me, because my particular situation was I had one child. I was not purchasing a home. I was renting. I didn't have a lot of tax deductions. And that was my biggest problem, because even though I really didn't understand how the whole W-4 thing worked and how taxes work for that matter, because all I knew was the more you make, the more they take. That's all I done heard my whole life about taxes. Anytime somebody had started talking about doing overtime, or they're going to eat you up. And I'm like, what that mean? Why is it, I didn't have, a lot of times you won't ask questions. And plus, if the person telling you this don't know what they're talking about, they don't do you no good. Ask no question, no way.
All I know is,
sometimes you're in a situation where you don't want people to know what you don't know. And the only way they don't know what you don't know is when you open your mouth and start talking.
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, the Lord blessed me to be able to provide for my family. Why is he taxing me to death? Like, is that part of it too? So what I was doing was I was having them to take additional money out of my paycheck, because I knew if they took it out, before I got paid, that would lower how much I owed at the end. So, so here I am saying, okay, every time I get paid, take I think I had got up to the point where I was having them take an extra 50 out per paycheck, because I was trying to make sure I didn't owe. And like I said, because I didn't understand how the system worked, I didn't know how much you had to do to make it do what it do. I had the 401k and everything, but I didn't know how that worked. All I ever heard was it's pre-tax. What that mean?
Right.
Like, it's pre-tax. What does that mean to me? Because it didn't mean nothing to me. All I know is people telling me it's pre-tax. So without all of that stuff being defined for you or put into context, it ain't doing you a whole lot of good. So starting this business for somebody like me who was 40 years old, had worked up 10 jobs, good jobs. But the thing of it was, whenever I started a retirement, especially in my 20s and early 30s, when I changed jobs, I'm cashing it out, because I'm like, I'm young, I got plenty of time, So here I was at 40 years old. I had, my child was 4 years old at that point when I started, but she was getting ready to turn 5, which meant I was about to not be doing daycare anymore. So, that little extra tax, whatever, was going to go away. So, it was just like I hadn't had enough knowledge to plan to be where I needed to be for somebody that's 40, So when I found out about this business and I finally learned, okay, this is what it means when you are putting stuff into a 401k. This is how you lower your taxable income. What does that, all of those terms, those little buzzwords that you hear, deductions and write-offs and all that stuff that you may be like afraid to ask, how do that apply to me? I was getting all that. And I was getting from people who didn't mind, praise the Lord. They ain't mind me asking questions, because I'm a question asking soul. I will ask you 1,000,001 questions, and they was okay with it. So, after learning everything and reaping the benefits, because Tony said after he did his, he brought home an extra 400. Well, after I updated my W-4, hey, Ben Stinker said, hey, Melissa and Tony. Okay, so after I updated my W-4 and filled it out as a business owner, because initially I was just filling it out as a W-2 employee. When I became a 1099 business owner, that was when things changed and I learned what to do. So because I was overpaying them, to not have to owe, I ended up bringing home an additional $400 per paycheck, which totaled up to an additional $800 a month. Good. So at this point, I'm putting money back into my pocket. But now I need some clarity on, okay, what should I be doing with this money? Because you
Right.
know how we do. We get a little extra money on the paycheck. You want to go ball out, ball till you fall. And so I'm like, I don't need to do that. So then that's when I started getting information about investing. So now I'm on the road to not being so far behind as far as retirement, because I didn't learn, number one, what's going on with the retirement I got at work, and number two, the advantages of having an IRA and doing investment accounts outside of the job. So now I'm on the right path. I'm building, I'm doing all this stuff. Then they done fooled around and told me I could hire my child. When they said that, I was like, what? She ain't even 5. They like, it don't matter.
You know, the perfect example they gave us was the Gerber baby, which I remember since day one. That's like, man, how long do you think that Gerber baby was a baby? And I was like, since she was a baby. That baby was making money for the Gerber parents since she was born.
Gerber baby wasn't doing that for free.
Right. Yeah. So I was like, wow. So you can actually hire your child no matter what the age is, especially if you're using the likeness of the child, like on a picture, or you out on vacation and you showing a picture of the baby or something. Man, you can hire your child. And I was like, what? The light bulb been on since day one with this company, because I did not realize that as a business owner, you get certain tax breaks and benefits for operating as a business owner. So Melissa, here's the thing. I don't think most people realize the government is trying to help you, but they whispering it. They don't want everybody to know that if you are a business owner, you get those breaks. So what is the definition of a business owner?
A business owner, there are only 2 things that you have to do to be a home-based business owner. Number one, you have to attempt to make a profit. If you're not trying to make money out of your business, it's not a business. It's a hobby. So you have to, every time Tony and I get on here, this is our attempt to make a profit. Now, do that mean that every time we get on here, somebody decides that they want to become a home-based business owner? Nope. Does that change the fact that we attempted to introduce this business to somebody? Nope. So we're still, meeting the criteria. The second thing is you have to keep good records. Now, for me, that wasn't far-fetched, because what I do in my regular career is like an audit type position. And one of the main things about what I do for the medical profession is, if they don't write it down, it never happens. They don't go by word of mouth. Same thing with the business. You can't go and sit up and tell somebody, well, I did this, and this, but you have no receipts, you have no dates, no who, what, when, where, why. Nobody gonna take your word for that. You could be lying. So the other important thing to have a business is you got to keep good records. And when I say good records, it's exactly those 5 things I said: who, what, when, where, why. You have to do that consistently. And the good thing about it is this company makes it easy for you, because it comes with an app, the Cash Flow Manager, which allows you to go in and update that information from your cell phone. It's an app on your cell phone. I got it on my desktop. However you want to fill it in, there are things that you can put on repeat so that you don't have to put those items in every month. It's going to automatically put it in. So when you get ready to do your taxes at the first of the year, all you're basically doing is either printing it out and taking it with you, or you're sending it as a PDF file for whoever's preparing your taxes. And believe me when I tell you, that makes life so much easier for them and you, because all of those who, what, when, where, whys, before they even ask, it's on them. It's like ragu. It's in them. Just look, it's in them. So that makes life simpler for you. So those are the only 2 things that you need to be a home-based business owner. Could you do more stuff? Yeah, you could, but those are the only 2 that are required.
There you go.
Those are the only 2 that I've been doing.
You broke that thing down. And I know there's some people out there needed to hear this. And I'm going to tell y'all, we are not financial advisors. We're not tax preparers. But what we have done was latched into a company that's been around for going on 20 plus years. We have IRS auditors inside of our company. We have attorneys. We have doctors. We have some high-end people that got some great titles. And I'm going to tell you, you cannot be around that long with an A plus from the Better Business Bureau and not be doing business the right way. So we can tell you now, this is not a scam. This is not a pyramid. For any company that's been around longer than 20 years, you in a good business. You're in a great business.
Exactly. And everything that we do, we get from the IRS publication. You know, they're always saying the best way to hide something from people is to put it right in front of their face in plain sight. So you can go straight to www.irs.gov, and anything that we tell you from our company, you can find the information that's going to back that up, because that is our basis of how we teach people. And you know, the good thing about this business, not everybody comes into it for the same reason. Everybody has their own, what they have going on. Like I said, for me, it was taxes. For somebody else, it may be credit, because this business comes with your own do-it-yourself credit repair kit. And I know what y'all thinking, because I hear this all the time. I don't want to do it myself. It's too hard. It's too complicated. I done had people that just try to sell me something before and blah, 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 blah. Well, you know, all we can do is let you know what we have to offer and share our results with you. Now, I'm not at an 837 right now, but at one point, I was at an 837. Now I fell off a few points, not because I did anything wrong, but just because there are 5 things that go into calculating your credit score. And unfortunately, for one area, which is having installment credit, I don't have any right now. So, you know, until I do something like purchase a house or get another car, something where I got to pay it off, I don't have installment credit. So that affects your credit score. That's something you may not even know. You know, so the 5, you know, there are 5 things that affect your credit score. You may not have any credit issues, so that part of the business may not appeal to you. You might be in it just for, like myself, my main focus was the tax thing. My other focus was, I want to retire before I'm 75 years old. So the investment education meant a lot for me. You know, before I started doing this, like I said, I didn't know all I knew was every quarter they sent me an email with a statement about what my 401k was doing. I go look at it. I look at whether something was gained or lost. You know, how much I started off with, how much it finished with. And that's the extent, you know, even if I wasn't happy with it, I didn't know what to do to change it, you know? So I was just kind of putting it on autopilot. Well, after I got in this business, I'm not telling y'all that now I'm E.F. Hutton. And when I talk, everybody listen. But what I am telling you is I got enough understanding about investments that I can go and ask questions and put things into motion. So after starting this business, I went ahead and signed up with I went through Primerica. Other people might use, you know, other vendors, but I went through that. I spoke with someone who helped me to not only get started with some non-401k stuff, but he actually sat down with me and we went over my 401k investments, because I'm used to just going with whatever they say. He went in, did some things, and I started seeing improvement in it. So it's like, a lot of times we put stuff on autopilot because we don't understand it. But when you get a better understanding, you can make changes where you might see where it only gained $100 other than the money you put in every time. Where it might go to where you gained 1,000, you know? And then after we got into this business, I learned about investing through like companies, like a big one that I use now, it's Acorn. I had heard of Acorn. I didn't know exactly what it was about, but I got in. So it's like the knowledge that you get from it will help you to have financial success. But more importantly, the testimony you give will help other people hear what you're talking about, sign up and have that same success. So you're benefiting from it both personally, you're helping somebody else, and you get a little incentive for getting other people started and helping them out. What more do you ask for?
I see so many, like I'm in the auto industry. I got a lot of coworkers that I hear with issues
You
all the
breaking up a
time.
little bit.
I have
Uh-uh.
coworkers. Uh-oh. Let's see. Can you hear me okay now? How
Mm-hmm.
about now?
You bet.
Okay.
You bet.
So a lot of my coworkers are having problems with pay. The first
Mm-hmm.
strategy that we talk about is our W-4, which will give you a pay raise if you're not understanding it. I say, first off, get into the company, join the membership, get the instructions on how to properly adjust your W-4. A lot of people will go in and adjust that W-4 and file exempt and get into tax trouble. You got people that owe five, six, $10,000, and the interest do not quit if you don't set up some type of payment plan or know why you got into the problem. You
Right.
know, so I think that I think this company is much needed to help every employee understand how not to overpay and how to actually use that money to get them out of debt and to help them with these everyday bills like gas and food and rent. So our
Right.
company is set up to help you.
That's because I bet a lot of people, I did not know that if you have a home-based business, you get to write off a portion of your whether if you're in a home, portion of your mortgage, if you're in an apartment, a portion of your rent, a portion of your utilities. Now I'm not saying it's gonna cover the whole thing, but if you paying a mortgage of 600 and let's say they knock 100 off, that's still 1,200, but they done knocked off for the year. Am I correct?
That's correct.
So my philosophy is a penny saved is a penny earned. So for every dollar I save, based on the practices I'm getting from learning this information, that's another stream of income for me
Mm-hmm.
because that's money I'm not spending and not paying out. A lot of people are so big on looking at like, okay, you're doing this business, how much money are you making? Meaning, what kind of profit are you seeing or commission are you seeing? It's not always about the commission. It's about what you're learning to save, and by you saving that money, you're bringing more money in. And then,
Right.
like I said, it's hard to explain if you're not in the business. That's why we make Tony and I. And Tony, you usually do some type of anniversary thing. You doing a promo this time for your thing?
You know what? I have not thought about it. It actually snuck up on me, and I said, "Wait a minute! Tomorrow is my anniversary day, so of course I'll be offering some type of coupons or something that can get people involved. And in the 30 days, just trial it. I mean, for under $10, you could probably come in and actually learn some information that could save you thousands. Imagine
Exactly.
an investment of $10 and the type of testimony you have and say, man, I'm so glad I met Tony and Melissa this Tuesday night. I joined this company for $10 and now I'm making $1,500 a month, $3,000 a month. Because I'm asking this question, Melissa. I know that the end of the year is coming, and I know there's a lot of teachers out there, a lot of educators that
Yeah.
once they're not working, they go out and find a job at, like a Walmart or Target or just trying to make a few dollars. And to me, I think teachers are they underpaid for all of the mess that they had to put up with other folks' kids and the system.
Exactly. I think they're
Imagine,
underpaid and undervalued.
absolutely. So my thing is this: it's like I heard a guy said, you have to find the marketplace that's going to pay you. Now, an educator in the school system may make $50,000 a year, but an educator in a business like myEcon that's educating and teaching people, you can make $1,000,000 in a year. So we have to be more strategic in sharing and showing people utilize your gift in the marketplace. The marketplace says teach people credit repair, teach
Right.
people the W-4 adjustment, teach people about investing, opposed to working in a school system and having to teach them this core curriculum that sometimes has nothing to do with life. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Trust me. I know what you're saying because when I finished college, I still had not gained anywhere near the amount of understanding I've gained from being a part of this business as far as finances go. Because in school they teach you the basics, and it's not basic as in how you can be successful, but it's in basic as far as how to keep the economy going.
Right.
They're not so much worried about you as an individual as they're preaching how to keep the economy good. And of course, having people work for a company is gonna keep it going. But other ways you can keep it going is by being a business owner, but that's not as encouraged as much as, me and my theory is if everybody knows that starting a business could put you in this position, who's gonna be left to work in the
Right.
factories, in
Yeah.
the other industries where
Right.
you need people? So you're not gonna see that promoted as much as you are for people to come and work for a company. And it's not that I'm knocking it, because Lord knows, every day I sit down for my at my W-2 job and do my work because I have to. My goal is to get to a point where I don't have to do that job and I am solely a home-based business owner. Some people make that happen quicker than other people do. For me, I guess you could say I'm pacing myself.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna say I'm pacing myself because it's been 9 years. I have not gotten to the point where I'm solely operating as a business owner, but at the same time, I have gained so much doing that hybrid as being both a business owner and a W-2 employee that it's been an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And you
like,
know what?
you know,
Most people feel like they don't have the time. It's like you don't realize that you're actually doing the business. You're just not getting paid or getting any of the benefits from it.
right?
We know people every day. Like me and you know people that have a job. They go to work
Yeah,
every day. They driving a car. They're taking care of the kids. They having to go home and cook and clean and take vacations. You're
yeah,
doing all of this stuff, but until you attach a home-based business to it, you're going to lose more money behind it. So our
exactly.
thing is this: if utilize the system to not lose money, but increase the knowledge to be able to save more money, make more money by just sharing the knowledge. And that's what our
Right.
business is about. I think even a couple of people like, hey, I want to join, but what type of business can I get involved in? And I'm telling you what the business is. It's like people miss it. It's like, okay, I got this knowledge, I got this system. Now, what type of business? Well, the business is educating people on how not to overpay their taxes on their job, how to not have a big tax bill at the end of the year. Because I know a lot of people struggling, they done messed up that W-4 because they went exempt and not
Because
realizing
you
that
don't understand it.
you don't understand it. So I say it's hard for us to get you to understand that the tax system is set up to help you win. They're not going to give you extra money at the gas pump, but you can actually save that money by becoming a business owner and write it off. You
Right.
taking
Because
vacation. Yeah.
that's another thing that I forgot to mention when I was talking about utilities and all that. If you have a vehicle and you're using it for your business, that's a deduction. You can get up to, I don't know what the rate is now, but at one point, wasn't it like almost 60 cents a mile?
It's more. I think it's right at 66 or going on 67 cents. They go up every year because
Right,
gas prices go up. So as a business owner, y'all keep in mind that Congress and the House of Representatives, all those people are business owners, and they write the laws in the favor of the business owner. So you can
right,
become a business owner for less than $40 a month and get thousands of tax deductions at the end of the year. We're constantly trying to share with people what the cost versus value means. You pay a $40 investment, but you got thousands of dollars of tax deductions that's going to offset. That's why we always say the government is paying the bill. You just got to
right.
get on the right side of the tax system.
Exactly. So, oh Lord, that 50 is kicking in because I was finna say something that was right on the tip of my tongue. As soon
It
as you
lost it.
finished talking,
Oh,
it left.
you lost it.
What was
Oh
I
man.
gonna say?
Oh
It
man.
had something to do with what you were talking about, but yeah.
It'll come back. Never.
It might come back to me if I
Yeah.
just start randomly talking. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's the advantage of knowing. I know what I was going to talk about. A lot of people don't want to do the business, like you said, because they don't have time or they
Mhm.
feel like they don't understand enough. And what we usually bring up to tell people to think about is Do you realize that every time you make a suggestion on somewhere to go for a vacation, somewhere to eat, um, a new store you tried, a new movie you're watching on Netflix, you are promoting somebody else's business. You are not doing anything less than what me and Tony are doing right now. We're telling you about a business where you can get discount and you can make more, put more money in your pocket. When you tell somebody about a new show that they got on Netflix, Netflix ain't gonna send you no money for that.
Right.
They're not. But you're promoting their business. So I say that to say that doing this business, which is just sharing financial information, sharing your testimony, talking to people about credit improvement, talking to people about investing, talking to people about all these different things, is no different than what you do for free right now.
Hey, why you talking about credit? Tonight, myEcon has offered. We have the credit repair system inside of our business. Once you join, you have access to that credit repair system. But they're offering additional training every Tuesday at 8 o'clock. So we're on early tonight to be able to hop onto that call. But once you join inside of the membership, they're going to be offering additional classes for the credit repair. And I'm telling y'all, credit is big right now. If you ain't got the money and you got to use a credit card, you want to make sure that their interest is good. You know what I'm saying? It's low. And then you can kind of make it without making a bigger mess of things.
Look, you said credit's important right now. Credit been important. Credit been holding people back.
Right.
And keeping people from having things. But it's just like anything else. If you don't understand how it works, and I went through that period too, where I didn't understand what I was involved in. People are so quick to want to let somebody else work on their credit for them. But something we've learned is out of the 5 things that are involved in improving your credit, only one thing is an area that can be fixed by somebody else. Everything else has to be based on you. So while you're paying this person $700 to $800 to go in and get you 20 more points, you could be doing that yourself. So I know a lot of people don't want to be bothered with it, and I can't say that because like when it comes to taxes, I don't want to do my own taxes. Probably I could, if I really wanted to, but I don't want to. So it's like there are some things that people are just not going to want to do themselves, and I understand that. But if you are that type of person who maybe your credit is not terrible, but you just want to bring it up a few more points, join the business. They're doing this training every week. Sign on every Tuesday, hear what they got to say, and apply it. And the great part about this business, like Tony was saying, if you wanted to get started today, $19.95. We could do a coupon that will give you $10 off of that, where you can start it for $9.95. So that basically means that for 30 days until it's time, because the billing cycle is every 30 days. For the first 30 days, you have full access to everything Tony and I have access to. You can go in. It's like somebody giving you a car to take home and drive for 30 days, and you got to make no payments. You get in, you kick the tires, you drive around the block, you see what all the little buttons and stuff do, So take advantage of that. And that way, even if you decide this is not something you want to do, at least you've seen what is available out there. And then also, if it's not for you, it may be for somebody else. Like, there's plenty of times people have told me about something, and I'm like, well, I don't do that, but let me ask my brother and see if he wants it, because he likes to do that type of thing. It could be that type of situation, because the whole point of it is we are trying to help everyone become financially successful.
Yeah.
We've gotten in, not saying that we didn't master it now.
Right.
If we had mastered it, I wouldn't be clocking in over here.
I heard that.
We've gotten in here and learned enough that we want to share it with other people, so that at least they've had the opportunity to say, I checked it out. It wasn't really for me, but I did go in and check it out. That's all we try to do. Now, if you get in and you figure it out, you might be like us, and 9 years later sitting here talking about we still in it.
Yeah.
You can't see ourselves quitting.
Hey, let me plug in. Let me plug in the Zingo Travel. I got a pretty awesome testimony. My wife turned 50 this year, and she was able to book we're doing a cruise in Europe, and she actually went through our Zingo Travel
Mm-hmm.
to set up our cruise. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all, when I say if you have access to a membership for travel, we're talking 100% write-offs. And I ain't going to tell y'all how much this thing gonna cost, but I'm telling you, I feel okay that I can get my money back, 2 times, because I'm double dipping, yo. I'm going to get the benefits of getting the points from the
Right.
membership, and I'm going to capture it as a business expense, because I'm going to share with you guys where we're going to be traveling. And we got 3 or 4 spots in Europe that we're going to take, but that's another write-off in itself. So I'm literally getting the government to pay 100% of my wife's 50th birthday. Now, how awesome is that?
That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. And it's all, like you said, it's all about strategy.
That's right.
That strategy, if that's your whole thing, like we have a lot of successful YouTubers on here, right? So if you got people who already have a YouTube channel and they want to start including travel as part of their channel, where they're telling you where they're going, they're giving you ratings on how they feel about the rooms, how they feel about the flights. All of that is a business if you operate it as a business. If you already have the followers, that's just another additional part of your live stream that you can add and be able to write off. Because when you start going on these trips, that's a business.
It's a $1 trillion industry. I can't see why and who would not want to be a part of a $1 trillion industry, y'all.
Yeah, and especially on the part where you getting paid from it, not you spending $1 trillion, but you making.
No, right?
I'm a part of a bunch of $1 trillion industry where my money is going in somebody else's pocket.
Right,
You want to be on the other end of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Tony, but we have to 48 minutes. We don't want to keep them for over an hour. Let me say an early happy myEcon anniversary to you, since tomorrow is 9 years, and I'm sure we're going to get sick of you tomorrow.
To be sick of me.
So if anybody who was listening tonight has any interest in getting more information or just doing the 30-day trial to see what we're talking about, because like I said, it's way too much for us to ball up and package in one live that's under an hour. The most we do is try to come in and give you some testimonies where if something we're saying is applicable to what you got going on, it could be an aha moment. Like, hey, I need it. I'm dealing with the same thing. So that's our whole purpose for getting on here and giving you the quick synopsis. So feel free to reach out to Tony and myself. We are both on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, wherever you see us at. Stop, inbox. I was finna say, what is it called? DM. I'm old. I don't know all the proper whatever. So wherever you see us at, if you want information, just hit us up. We are not going to wear the stank off you about joining the business. If you ask for information, we will give you information. But the best thing to do is do the trial, do the 30 days. Now, when you do the 30 days, don't let it sit for 30 days and decide on the 29th day that you didn't get nothing out of it, but you never went in and looked at it. That defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
I'm going to advise you not to do it that way. But if you are interested, reach out to us. We'll help you get started. Because, like I said, we really want to see everybody win. If we didn't want to see everybody win, we would just shut our mouth and reap the benefits. But we get on here every week and, well, not every week, but we're going to do better. We get on here all the time and try to tell you about what we're doing so that should you decide you want to do the same thing, you got an opportunity. So, Tony, any closing remarks?
The only closing remark is don't overthink this thing. Get on the right winning side of the tax system and let's build together.
And as a lifetime overthinker, he is correct. Do not overthink it. Just do it. If you don't like it, just drop it. At the end of 30 days, snatch your information out and go on back to what you was doing before. But Don't let a good opportunity pass you by that can put you in a position this time next year to be giving your own testimony. You know? So with that being said, we're gonna get ready to get out of here. Like I said, I got rusty. I forgot how to get to the outro, the intro, all that stuff. But thank y'all for coming through. Hit us up if you want to get started. And we will see y'all when we see you. Because I don't know when we coming back, but we'll see you when we see you. All right. Thank you, Felton, for coming through.
All right now.
Let me see.
Thank you for being a part of the conversation. Now, are you ready to start your home-based business? If your answer is yes, contact Tony or Melissa to get started today.